Alright, mic's coming in and audio's coming in. Groovy. Okie dokie. Do. Should be good to go. I was talking shit about D-Live. Talking shit with the boys about our D-Live competition. It is quite humorous to think about. And yeah. Yes, sir. It's fantastic. Alright, so this one's going to be short. Like, really short. So, a little bit of history behind this. Born from a Wish is sort of like this tie-in little bonus expansion campaign, because the original Silent Hill 2 just launched with the base game. Silent Hill 2. Now, that was September 24th, 2001. It just came with what is now called the main scenario, Letter from Silent Heaven. Now, this is actually an addition made to, what is it? It has 3 different names, but it is the Xbox port of Silent Hill 2. Restless Dreams in the West, and I did not write down what it is called in Europe and Japan, because I am a professional. Oh, yeah. But I got tired of watching this idiot stream in the middle of a tornado. Now I'm here with the boys. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out, because, like, that sounds hilarious, but it was a risky click in the middle of a live stream. I'm sorry. But yeah, this came out with the Xbox port Silent Hill 2, which was released on December 20th, 2001. Just about 3 months later, so fast turnaround to add in an entire new scenario. Poem of the Last Moment in Japan, thank you. And I think it's called, like, Waking Nightmare or something in Europe. Yeah, focus on the important stuff. Well, and we'll get to this. So, in the spirit of being, unprepared, default? 1 minute. What? 2 ice cream. Holy shit. Alright, we're gonna have to put out some actual fucking lemons in chat today. Oh my god. Oh my god. 2 whole ice creams? Shit. Alright. So, Born from a Wish. It's really strange, because, years and years ago, I have nothing to use lemons for. You hoard them. You just hoard lemons, But each region had different subtitles for it. Psycho Nuata, Poem of the Last Moment in Japan, Restless Dreams in North America, Interferes in Europe. That's it. So, yeah, that was the Xbox port. And eventually for the PS2 Greatest Hits collection, which is what I'm emulating right now, we got Born from a Wish included with that. Born from a Wish sounds better, more accurate. I like it better. Born from a Wish is the universal name. It's, Poem of the Last Moment is the name for Restless Dreams, the Xbox port specifically. Means good day. Silent Hill 2 comrades, still can't let it go, dude. Okay. I have been talking about and screaming about and forcing people to hear me rant about Silent Hill 2 for over a decade now. Yeah, probably since 2010, so I first really started getting into it. So over a decade, I've been obsessively into this game. So, yeah, I can't let it go. But, so the thing is, like, anyone who's been with the channel for a while, they'll know that I worked on a Silent Hill History of project. And in that Silent Hill History of project, I never talked about Born from a Wish. And the reason for that is, well, I didn't do too much research for the sake of this stream. Born from a Wish doesn't have any development information whatsoever. Like, I can't find any developer interviews, developer commentary, developer inputs, anything. This is a complete, just, here it is. Like, I thought Silent Hill 4 was vague in its development story. This has literally nothing. So there's no information I can really give outside of it fucking exists. Is Born from a Wish how James wanted to Coombe and Mary was birthed from this? Kinda. We'll get to it. It just came into existence one day. Yeah, it's like, it just kind of happened. No good development details to talk about. It's kind of there. It's also short as fuck. We'll probably be done in, at most, an hour. At the absolute most. It is extremely short. But it does actually have some interesting ideas into it. And we'll talk about it as we go. But whatever. So yeah, no point wasting more time. Let's get into it. Oh yeah, this one doesn't even have like puzzle difficulty differences. Hola, hombres. Welcome. We are going to be playing this. Like, this will probably take like half an hour maybe. This is very short, but yeah, I'll do normal. Whatever.
When I woke up, I was all alone. Everyone's gone. Is it because of those monsters? What do I do now? Do I fight and live? Or do those monsters get me? I don't have any reason to go on living. But I'm scared to die. I'm so afraid of pain. Should I run away? I want to find somebody. I don't like being alone. But is there anyone left alive?
So we're playing as Maria. Got revolver bullets. There's that theme of running away again. It really is a predominant theme, even in this like little assignment Ada separate ways DLC thing. This is like proto DLC, but yeah, we're playing as Maria. This is about it. It's part of Jane's psychic reasoning of itself. I don't know about that. See, we'll talk about it as we go. I don't actually agree with that. I think this ties into a concept from Silent Hill 1, which we'll get to later, and obviously, like, I'll say spoiler, but there's a concept in Silent Hill 1 that this is following up on. So, we're playing as Maria. She has a gun. Does she eat a pizza too? Nah, dude, she's got a waistline to look after. But yeah, Maria starts with a gun. It is interesting how it starts with one bullet. Max low is 10 bullets. Easy to use, but not much power. Let's reload. It's so weird to me that Maria was apparently created by the town and placed here, but with no memories whatsoever. Here's the thing. She has no memories right now, but as we'll go, it seems like she almost just, like, gets them back. Or at least gets memories that the town gives her. But I digress. Like, we'll get to it when we get to it. This is probably like a 22 revolver, because you can't get like 9 chambered ones. Don't know about 10, but that answers that, if anyone's into gun crap. But yeah, even Maria has that theme of running away. But speaking of being birthed into the town, that's kind of her opening speech there, is that whole, I'm kind of scared of being alone, and I gotta run away, but I don't want to live, and I'm scared of pain. It's very childish. Her entire rationale there. Pretty interesting. It's just Russian roulette. I don't know, because like, it could be Russian roulette, it could just be, there's an option. You always could. Yeah, she doesn't really question her memories flooding in. I sort of wish they did something with that, but it's fine. I wish they did a lot more with this game. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I've never been really fond of Born from a Wish. I think conceptually there's some really good stuff you could do with it, but I think at the end of the day, I would call this missed potential. I digress. And away we go. With a really fucking weird looking run cycle. Yeah, it's gotta be a 22. It's gotta be. But yeah, it's a really weird looking run cycle. Just flare my elbows out in all directions, I guess. Ooh, yummy. So yeah, we are just in James' Silent Hill. I'm pretty sure we'll see his monsters running around here in a minute. I think I know where we're supposed to go. 1 minute. Actually, it is interesting she starts out with a map. That is interesting. But I want to check. Can we even go to Brookhaven? She's practicing. Elbow room! Elbow room! Why was only one bullet? It's kind of big for a 22, or she's small. I think, like, I'm assuming, like, one, Japanese people making guns, so. But seems like she's also probably pretty small. Can D-Live see my chat? Yes, they can. We got restream, so it should be all good. Why was only one bullet? Well, it being Silent Hill 2, I think we can kind of gather one. There's nothing for me to do here. That's a really interesting way to phrase it. So that's kind of what I was talking about, where it's like, it seems like her memories just kind of come back, and she doesn't question it. It's the most special of 38 specials. I can see it. Of course I got this guy. Stomp. Yeah, hell yeah, McCready. There's nothing for me to do here, foreshadowing Silent Hill 4. There's a lot to do in Silent Hill 4. There's a lot to do. But, I think one bullet implies suicide. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. As, you know, it's there. It's an option. It's like, you know, you're dead anyway. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. You may as well fucking finish the job. Alright. Yeah, we gotta go up here. We gotta go there. Okay. Stomping that zombie. God, I wish that were me. But yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's with that whole thing where it's like the whole memories flooding back angle, where nice, where she seems to look at the hospital as like, there is nothing for me to do here. Well, the hospital is probably the single most important place for Maria in the story outside of the labyrinth. Yeah, this is not the door you were looking for. Does Maria wake up more or less as soon as James enters the town? I think it is basically impossible for that not to be the case, because the way Silent Hill works, at least the way I look at it, is it basically like feeds off of someone like a battery, and unless you're in its vicinity, it's not going to work. So James being the source of the nightmare here, yeah, it's like she just spawns into existence the second James is in town. So you have you found the hatch yet? Or are we still looking? Still looking. Okay, so interesting. Let's see, is it over here? I think it's over here. Huh. I wonder if that says anything. But yeah, it's like, I'm pretty sure it has to be as soon as James walks out. Shit, just like as soon as he walks out of the bathroom, basically. Shit's fucked. Oh. There we go. Silent Hill was fine until that cult came around. Honestly, I don't know. I don't even know if I agree with that. Like, I think the idea is like Silent Hill was always kind of fucked. Because you have like the history of the plague. Oh, man. Get over here. Oh shit. So it's interesting, I don't know if this is intentional, but it's very interesting how the monsters really aren't trying to do much. They're much less aggressive than they are in the base game, honestly. That's very interesting. And of course, we have another James corpse here. You should cover the Silent Hill comics. Yeah, Silent Hill was built on an Indian burial ground. It was also the site of, like, multiple plague hospitals. It was also the site of a Civil War prison. Which also became a prison after that, which also became abandoned. It had, like, multiple mass deaths on the lake. It had witch trials and witch burnings. It had... Wait, no, here's the thing about being an Indian burial ground. It's an Indian burial ground, and before that, there was a tribe before that tribe that says this place is fucked, and they just left. It's like... Silent Hill always seemed like a catharsis to me. A place for people who are strong enough to come and outrun the trauma and overtake. I've never seen it that way. I think that's too nice of an angle. Like, it's therapy town. And it's like, I've never really liked that idea. It's like, I don't know, Silent Hill doesn't seem that kind to me. It's a I lean by what I said in the Silent Hill 2 finished video. It's like, I think essentially the town is like the lodge from Twin Peaks. It's like, it just kind of it just eats your misery. It eats your trauma. Are there comics too? Yes, and they're fucking terrible. I'm reading some of these, and it's insane. Apparently, there are 3 one-shots by Ito. There are Silent Hill one-shots by Ito, and it's mostly just artwork. But they're quite interesting. Yeah, the town's much more apathetic. Yeah, and it's like, even then, like, here's the thing. Angela doesn't get out okay. Eddie doesn't get all out okay. James, in most of the endings, doesn't get out okay. Like, even in Silent Hill 2, like, I don't think the town's trying to help anyone do fucking anything. I just think, like, it's kind of like that Twin Peaks, Garmin Boja, Oregon Energy idea of, like, it just eats your misery. That's what gives it sustenance. Yeah, but those Silent Hill comics, they're fucking terrible. They are probably the worst bit of Silent Hill media, and I will fucking stand by that. Except for maybe Revelation 3D. Oh god, Revelation. You know, maybe Silent Hill is actually terrible. Maybe this entire stream is a mistake. I need to rewatch Twin Peaks. It's been like 2 years since I have. I would say... a lot of where I'm getting this from comes from Fire Walk with Me, where a lot more of the lore and mythology aspect kind of gets explored. Highly recommend at least more of it. Road to Fortune isn't bad. They're ugly as fuck, though. Okay, so is Road to Fortune the one about the hitman who used to be in the military? Because that one, I agree, it's not bad. Any of the ones that's about fucking Christabella, the evil Cthulhu girl, those are fucking terrible. Those are schlock. There's the Grinning Man, where the main villain is like, what if the Joker was a Silent Hill monster, and it's fucking terrible. There's the art one, where it's like the fucking teenage cheerleader squad from hell. That is terrible. The Silent Hill comics are the worst. Like, the Silent Hill is the worst. The series is terrible. What am I doing? Devil's Pit from Silent Hill 4. That's Downpour. And it's like, oh, that's a mine, alright. Does make sense, because there was already, like, a... the only Silent Hill comic I read was Anne's story, where she goes, Apocalypse Now. Like, yeah. That fucking emoji is the funniest goddamn thing I've seen in my life. Road to Fortune is Dead Rising comic between 1 and 2. Okay, because there is a similarly titled Silent Hill comic about, like, a fucking hitman or whatever. Yeah, Devil's Pit was Downpour. God, those Silent Hill comics are fucking terrible, dude. Alright, so also obligatory, what a mansion! Lock's broken. Alright, There's also gonna be casual hour, because, like, I've played this all the way through once. Was it referenced before? It was not. Devil's Pit was a Downpour exclusive creation. It's like, it's a big evil mine. It's like, yeah, it's a mine, alright. Hey, there we go. The Baldwins. Uh-oh. Gonna avoid the obvious jokes there. Bam, bam. Sweet. Alright, let's reload the gun. Yeah, the funny minecart section. Dude, isn't it so funny to sit in a minecart and just have a fucking roller coaster happen? Like a literal roller coaster. Remember that part in Silent Hill 3 that made fun of haunted house sections in games like that? If Silent Hill 2 is told entirely from James' POV, then why have a Maria side story? I have an idea about Maria. We'll get to it towards the end. But this ties into an idea from Silent Hill 1 that 2 mostly kind of left in the dust. Is there an anime or full-length cartoons about Silent Hill? There's some fan animations over the years, but there's nothing full-length, no. There's just the 2 movies. The first one I think is fine. If you're interested in Silent Hill, I'd say the first one's fine, check it out. Second one is actual garbage. With the first 2 issues of comics, where it ranges from blah to fucking bad. Like, maybe one day we'll do comics review, and I'll just review all the Silent Hill comics, because they're fucking bad. Let's save the game. But yeah, I have a... Well, I'm not going to use that again, why do I care? Yeah, Maria, mansion living room. I do like the hers a different color. It's very nice. I have an idea about Maria. We'll get to it at the very end, when more of the story kind of gets made for us. But this is tying into an idea that Silent Hill 1 played around with, that 2 implied, but never really got into. Alright. Yeah, so this came out very close to the Resident Evil 1 remake. Just a little before it, actually, so... Yeah, they stack you in this campaign, holy shit. All I can think about is, like, how do you solve a problem like Maria from The Sound of Music? Oh, that would be a fucking... That would be an adaptation. Let's make Sound of Music with Maria from Silent Hill 2. Everyone's just like a horrible fucking sex monster. Just, like, covered in slime. Oh, it's cutscene.
Is somebody there? Open up. Hello?
Stop it. You're disturbing me.
Thank God. I finally found somebody. Can you open the door?
No.
But why?
Is it really necessary for me to answer all your tedious questions?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. I want to be alone. Other people just irritate me.
I just want to see another human face. Do you know what's happening in this town? There's no one here. Just monsters.
Yes, I know. But so what? It has nothing to do with me. No one here means there's no one to disturb me.
You want to be alone in this insane asylum?
Yes, exactly. But how can you say that it's this town that's insane? Perhaps it's we who are insane. Both of us. Hopelessly insane. Are you satisfied? Would you leave me alone?
My name is Marie. What's your name?
Baldwin.
Ernest, I'll be back.
Okie dokie, and that was a cutscene, so I'm going to read the rest of the chat, and we'll talk about that for a minute. Let's see here. I thought there was, okay, 1 minute. This is something I wanted to comment on, because I mentioned in chat I like this idea a lot. This is Dave from 4 Face Buttons says, and he gets the name, because I'm stealing this idea from now on. I'm certain this reading is too deep, but James's save point is solid red, like blood flowing and still alive. Maria's is a pale red, like a pink, as if dead. You could be, you might be right, maybe that's reading too deep into it, but I really fucking like that idea. That's spooky, that's good. I love that shit. Nope, I'm not here. Wasn't me. Parent bought me this book called Silent Hill Sinner's Reward a long time. That's the Hitman one. Apparently there's a ton of graphic regular novels in the series. Yeah, and in my opinion, like, Sinner's Reward I think is fine. If it is the one I'm thinking of, it's whatever. But in general, like, the Silent Hill comics, in my opinion, are the worst the series gets in terms of storytelling quality. Like, actually bordering on unreadable. Yeah, the rabbit hole. Ito apparently designed monsters for Metal Gear Survive. That he did. I'm pretty sure he designed, like, the basic zombies. Yeah, stop it. You're disturbing me. Anthony Hopkins. Is this James's voice actor? No. Is it Eddie's? No. It is, it's not James's voice actor, Guy Seehee. It is not Eddie's voice actor, David Chalfele. I forget his name, but you will know this actor best by his performance as Alucard in Symphony of the Night. Dead fucking serious. That's Alucard. Who also did the voice of Joseph Schrieber in Silent Hill 4, who is that unfinished texture that was floating out of the ceiling and just, like, looking forward, and they just zoomed in slowly on his face in that one cutscene where I just had a nervous breakdown because it looks so genuinely atrocious. Silent Hill 4 was a good time. Could it be that Maria is primed for answers because she's desperate for any info whatsoever, considering she has no memories? Yeah, that's how I see it. Could be that Maria may not even consider what her name was until that moment. Okay, so that's interesting. We'll talk about that in a minute. I did read it. Hitman Name Pup. It was strange that books... Yeah, the Hitman one is decent. It's whatever. It's fine. I don't like it that much, but you know what? I'll give it a pass. Basically, all the other ones can get fucked. And even then, like, I read that when I was a much younger man. I could go back to that right now and say this sucks. He's the narrator for Resident Evil? Yeah, I could have sworn that was the Alucard voice actor. I could have fucking sworn that was him. What I find weird is that she asked if it was Ernest Hemingway. It could just be like... So, I could be reading too into it. It could be like she was making a joke or whatever, and the delivery just fell flat. But it could be like, that's information Mary knew. And Maria here is just like trying to piece literally anything together from whatever memories she's been given.
Ernest? Are you there? No. I guess not.
Also, I want to give credit again to Monica Taylor Horgan, who does Mary and Maria. Alucard's voice actor did Mike from Winback. Very cool. Very cool. Alright, so that's Ernest. He's going to need some things from us, so let's go do it. He plays the fat dude. He plays the dude who makes the famous face of before he gets shot. Good times. Winback's a great game. Good times. Consider that Mary wrote what James called a poem. We can still some inspiring for that Mary is a bit of a writer. She seemed like she was apparently like an artsy type. She tried playing the piano. She wasn't very good at it. She's like quite the writer just based on how much shit she writes in general. So I could see that. I could definitely see that. Gunned down by Antonio Banderas. Mike barely had any fucking lines anyway, but it was Alucard, bro. So I'm gonna be real, I forget where the plates are that we need. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna be real, guys. I have played this like twice in my entire life. Okay. Damn it. Okay, there goes my idea. Alright, so let's see here. Where haven't I gone? Hemingway combined with the gun thing, considering suicide. In case you don't know, yeah, Hemingway shot himself. I do know that. I do remember that. You lock there. Okay. Down we go, then. I don't think... Yeah, I did not pick anything up. Okay. The whole Born from which takes place in this house? Yes. Yeah, we just heard someone get shot there, so... We're talking about getting shot. Well... Yeah, Alucard's also Joseph Schrieber in Silent Form of the Room. I assume Joseph is the cowardly dude who gets the lid on fire with the wheel. No, the cowardly dude who gets the lid on fire is Jasper Gein, or Jasper Gein. Gein, that's it, because he's been named after Ed Gein. But, he's Jasper Gein, was the dude who got lit on fire. Joseph Schrieber is the writer who lived in the room before Henry. And in that cutscene where Henry and Eileen meet the ghost in the ceiling, who is that black, unfinished texture. Like, it's literally, like, 2 steps above a fucking wireframe model. And it's just, like, zooming in on his unfinished face as it clips through the ceiling. That's Joseph Schrieber. God, I fucking hate Silent Hill 4. I hate it so much. It's so bad. It's locked. Joke about the fact that the monster is always by Jim Diesel, like, Guardian of the Galaxy. Alright. Well, fuck. Alright. Aha! For some reason, there's a ladder in the fireplace leading up. Along the way, I can see something that looks like a hole. Climb ladder. But as I was saying, like, I want to give credit to Monica de Horga and Mary Maria's voice actress here, because she's essentially playing a third version of the same character as the super clueless one who doesn't know anything from just, like, next Sunday. And it has a complete different cadence to her delivery, so we need the whiteboard still. Shit. Howdy, howdy. Howdy, howdy. Streamer boy. Boy. This is gonna be a short one. This is gonna be... Sorry, Bob. This is gonna be a really short one. Where is the white tablet? Where is the white iPad? How could I miss this? It's alright, man. It's alright. Like I said, I have played this twice in my 10 years of playing this game. I'm gonna be super real. Based. Based? Based on what? Don't worry, Bob. We still have a bit to go, and I am lost as fuck. Yeah, where's the white tablet? Dude, please, drugs are not the answer.
Ernest? Are you there?
No, I guess not.
No. I guess not.
Oh my goodness. That hot, steaming lore. Well, we haven't really gotten to the interesting lore stuff yet, so you're in luck. And I say interesting because I am interested in it. I don't expect anyone on Earth to be interested in it. So it's gonna be locked. Yes. Fantastic. Alright. Honestly, I'm probably gonna look this up. Yeah, Ernest, are you there? Leave me and my marbles alone! Aha! Aha! There we are. So, yeah, there's not much lore yet, but we are playing as Maria, the sort of pyramid head parallel thought form entity thing. And she's gonna do a little thing for this guy named Ernest Baldwin, who's voiced by Alucard from Symphony of the Night. And also Mike. What if Ernest was just a sentient door? And imagine that kind of hell. just being a door for all eternity. Yeah, so there's... Now you need to find the dry erase marker. Of course. And then we can write Ernest is D-U-M. Perfect. Yeah. That way, he'll be so mad he'll have to leave. Okay, so I did look up the solution to this, because I'm a cheating bitch, but... Square depression in the center of the tombstone, and above it is carefully carved up death. Along with you died joy. All that remains is despair and a future of meaningless tomorrows. But I will never give up. 1, to see your beautiful smile again. 1, to beg the blessings of the gods. I wait for that day. When the boards cover all sadness too will be covered. But until my dreams return to reality, I'll have to swallow all the pain. There's key firmly embedded in the stone beneath the depression. No matter how hard I try, I can't pull it out. Well, I remember what to do here. So, this is interesting because we didn't actually do the this ending, but these are representations of items you need to get the rebirth ending from Silent Hill 2. Specifically, I think it was added to this version. Why is the G in gods capitalized? Because it's a proper word. The old gods haven't left this place. I didn't mean to back out. Shit. Alright. Yeah, so this is the white chrism. When the white breath's found, I shall dedicate this thing. O spirit of the mist, grant us fortune eternal. When the dark grail is found, I shall dedicate this thing. You who deny death, grant us fortune eternal. Yeah, that's how it always... Yeah, it's like, for God, it is like capital G God, because it's like a proper title, you know what I mean? When the crimson words are found, I shall dedicate this thing. O you gods deep in slumber, grant us fortune eternal. Yeah, so it's like the old gods haven't left this place kind of thing. So, I'm gonna be real. My favorite ending, the zombie Maria ending. Yeah, that very Stephen King ending. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it is. We're going to use that. This bonus scenario feels more Resident Evil to me, in my own opinion. It feels sort of storytelling time very disconnected from a lot of the mainline Silent Hill. Yeah, this feels strange. This feels like because I was talking about earlier, there's no development information on this compared to the breadth of information that is in, like, for all of Silent Hill, yeah, as is. And we want to the red one, I'm going to do it 90 degrees to the left. I hit the map button because I'm a genius. Hell yeah. There's some ideas here that I think are interesting. And there's one thing in particular that it's definitely interesting to think about. But in general, yeah, God is laughing at us. 90 degrees to the left. There we go. Boom. 3 boards overlapped. Key came free. Boom. There we go. I'll be honest though. His mumbling is so bad I can't understand him. Well, try my best, man. Try my best. Whatever. But yeah. In general, it's picking up on one idea from Silent Hill 1 that they kind of abandoned. So, in general, it's missed potential. I'd say it's definitely born from a wish. This could have been an interesting scenario on its own, but what are you gonna do? Alright. So, if I remember correctly, this is going to be the one past Ernest's place. Please just enunciate more and need more Silent Hill playthroughs. Fair enough. I will say, it's like, I think I did a better job with that with the actual formal playthrough. This is casual hours as fuck. We're going this way. Now, yeah, going this way. I believe it opens this one. Yeah, many a year since we've done Born from a Wish. Nope. I don't tell you. Yeah, I don't know. I'll definitely give it a shot. And never enunciate. Don't be a coward. Mumble or die. I'm straight mumblecore. To the bone. Got matches. Okay. Small bed for a child. Adult standing on a chair. Now a little closer. It's filthy. Whoever lived here must have really loved this thing. Stuffed animals line the top of the shelf. Nothing too interesting. Yeah, I'll just give it a shot. Hopefully we will make it a better experience for all. But yeah, so we got a kid's room. Interesting. Well-loved doll. Pretty well lived in up until now. Let's go this way. Wonder what that is. Oh. Now we So we heard people talking about someone falling out of a window. Alright, let's see here. Candle here. So we got some matches. Oh, there we go. 2 of 3. Alright, should have one more. Oh shit. Everything is spaced out now. Now, if I remember correctly, so in one of the chairs. Aha! Something below the chair. Is this a birthday card? I don't remember that. It's been a really long time. Yeah, it's like... I don't want to say this is unmemorable. Is there just like straight up no music in this scenario? There's reused tracks at the beginning when you're in Heaven's Night. There's one track when you first encounter the line figures in front of the Baldwin estate. And I think there's one more as you are heading towards Blue Creek Apartment. In general, though, like, there is a shocking lack of even reused music in this. And I don't want to say, like, takes away from the atmosphere. There's also the first Ernest cutscene. There's kind of a nice little synth track that's original for the scenario that plays beneath it. So, obviously, it's a very short vertical slice kind of experience, so they couldn't have too much. And again, it was like a little bonus mode, so I would have liked a little more. To my dearest daddy, happy birthday, from Amy Baldwin. Baldwin, you say? Daddy, you say? A crusty doll has been well loved. Well, that's cursed. I'm gonna forget that I read that. Well, only one person here who's got that last name. Aha! Thought you could get a drop on me. Yeah, and there's really not a lot of survival horror elements in this either. Like, we have quite a bit of healing items. Enemies in general seem to be less aggressive. And we got a lot of bullets, and considering this thing does like 2-3 pops and it's done, I don't know. This is very much a separate ways kind of scenario. You know, separate ways before separate ways. Hey, buddy. I do wonder if that's intentional, though. Yeah, go back. I do wonder if this is intentional, though. Because you saw that, like, in Silent Hill 2, the base game, if a lion figure is just, like, standing dead set, pre-aggroed in front of you, usually it's going to do the attack first. Like, Silent Hill 2 is not the most difficult game in the world, but their enemies tended to be much more aggressive. However, could it be intentional? Like, could this just be, like, an artistic decision? Where Maria herself is a product of the town, so you gotta wonder, do you think that Maria here, like, they're not really aggroing to Maria for the same reason they don't aggro to other lion figures, kind of thing. Alright, so I don't remember if we have to use this man. Okay. Maybe it'll be like... Oh. Oh shit, I forgot about that. Health drink. Very nice. Aha. First aid kit. There's a book here. Looks like a plant encyclopedia. Acacia. I believe that's acacia, but I could be wrong. A genus of evergreen trees from the mimosa tribe of the pea family. Its tiny flowers are yellow or white and grow in clusters. Excuse me. Common varieties include the gum tree. The acacia tree is a potent symbol in many religions across the world. In Christianity, it represents eternal life and morality. Morality, excuse me. Her meat cleaver is like a mini great knife. Yeah, the meat cleaver probably does... let's try the meat cleaver next. Let's see how much damage that does. In ancient Egypt, it represented purity and rebirth. While in ancient Babylonia, it was thought as the tree of the goddess Ishtar and was a symbol of life. Maria shoots just like Guido Mista. Yes, that is a fucking a JoJo reference. It is also a holy tree to the ancient Jews who built the sacred Ark of the Covenant from it, and for whom it signified a peaceful death and a release from grief. Ha! Not to be found here. Interesting, though. What we're seeing there, and kind of how I feel about this little expansion, I guess you'd call it an expansion. How you'd feel about this expansion as a whole, at least how I would. Damn. She's chopping into boys. Damn, Maria. But, yeah, how I kind of feel about this expansion on the whole. It feels like a test bed. Yeah, that's why we have a Christmas tree. Alright, there's cockroaches around here. Let's punch them. Ah! Okay, not quite as good as the great knife. Yeah, not quite that. Not as potent, as strong. Let's just pull out the gun. We have more than enough bullets. Where you at? Go away. She's chopping away male patriarchy. Of course. But as I was saying, in general, I would consider this kind of a proto-Silent Hill 3 for a lot of the ideas that it's trying to play around with. Because Silent Hill 3... Oh, shit. We're coming back here later. I guess we are not coming back here later. Alright. Yeah, because I could have sworn we had to talk to Ernest one more time. Alright, let's go into the nightmare zone. Hey! Yeah, the enemies are much less aggressive. That has to be intentional, but... Oh. Yeah, so... But again, Silent Hill 3, getting into it, plays around a lot with the idea of, comparative mythology and what different symbols mean across the world to different cultures. At least in my opinion. It plays around with... There's a lot of Norse stuff thrown in there. There's the Aztec stuff. There's the Buddhist stuff. So it kind of, mix and matches a lot. It's very interesting. Very interesting. If we ever do Silent Hill 3... Okay. There and then. Huh? What'd you see? God. Damn, girl. Of course. But if we ever do Silent Hill 3 in this format, we'll talk a lot about that. Because Silent Hill 3, I'm playing it again with the missus right now. Silent Hill 3, I think it's pretty good. I think it holds up. It is extremely bizarre with how it chooses to present its information. And very, very counterintuitive. Still good. Still love that game. Just could have used an editor. Could have used some rewrites. Where am I going? Okay, so we got. Oh yeah. Right in the booty. Silent Hill 3 is the strangest implications of the trilogy, but I love all of it. I agree. I love Silent Hill 3. I love that game. It's great. It's just I need to play it. Okay, if you like Silent Hill, you need to play Silent Hill 3. Even if you don't end up liking it, just to say you did. Hey, original music. Yeah, it's like that little weird, oh, wait.
Do you know a little girl named Amy?
Why do you ask me that?
This letter. To my dearest daddy. It's from a girl named Amy Baldwin. Your daddy?
Yes. Where'd you find that?
Up in the attic.
Oh. What a fool. Now. It's too late. I finally understand why. Why she was there. Why she was holding that empty envelope which she found.
Ernest. Amy. She isn't... I'm sorry. I'm sorry I reminded you.
No need to apologize. You've been reminded. I've never forgotten. Maria, some things we forget. Some things we can never forget. It's funny. I'm not sure which one is sad. It's been 10 years, but I still...
Ernest. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
No, it's fine. Maria, that letter.
I'll leave it here.
Thanks. Maria? So, you must be... That's why you could see me.
Huh?
So, perhaps that means that I can hope for a miracle as well.
What do you mean?
In the apartment next door, there's a bottle containing a white liquid. I don't know exactly where it is, but I know it's in there somewhere. I must have it.
You... want me to get it for you?
Please.
Why don't you just get it yourself?
If I could believe you, I would. But
White?
I'll open the stairway door.
Ernest, do you really believe it will work?
I don't know.
Well, that's okay. I don't mind fighting for an impossible cause. Anyway, it beats just giving up and doing nothing.
Maria, thank you.
Okay, so Ernest's daughter died 10 years ago, but he wants something. Amy's present to her father, Ernest, found with the birthday card. I think I'll just leave this here. Okay, so let's just get back into chats. I know why you brought up Silent Hill 3 now. See, Silent Hill 3, we'll get into it a bit later, towards the end of the DLC, where I think the ending is really the most interesting aspect of it, where the ideas really come to a head. But Silent Hill 3 plays a bit around with ideas of fate and predestination. And how, one, that can be an extremely terrifying concept. And two, like, are you truly beholden to fate? Or are there ways out of it? And obviously, like, I'm dancing around Silent Hill 3 spoilers, but Silent Hill 3 plays around with ideas that this kind of tinkers with. Like, just touches. It's kind of why I think this is a proto-Silent Hill 3, as they're probably really into that game's development, as... didn't even see it there. As they were making this. It is now unlocked. I wonder if this DLC implies that ghosts can be conjured here rather than just mental manifestations, which makes Silent Hill 2's ending conversation with Mary pretty interesting. See, that's why I brought it up at the very end. Where my idea with it was, okay, at the very end of Silent Hill 2, is that just James's projection of Mary, or is that actually the ghost or soul of Mary giving him that one last confrontation? I don't know. It's genuinely up in the air. And I think the DLC, no, I'm saying DLC 2, the expansion Born from a Wish, adds a bit more ambiguity to that, as we'll get into at the end. And also, let's not forget, Silent Hill 1 does confirm ghosts, souls, spirits, all that stuff. That does exist in the Silent Hill universe. It's a very murky answer, and ultimately I don't think it quite matters, but... oh, shit, you're... ow. Damn. What a jackass. Alright, we're gonna go this way. Are you Americans talking through a closed door? It's really so effing convenient. Well, yeah, dude. We're just talking through doors. Who has time to look at people? Alright. Very interesting. He's manipulating her. I don't know if he's, like, straight manipulating her. Let's see. Don't have a map of this area. Okay, good to know. We're on the right way, then. I don't know if he's, like, straight manipulating her, but it does seem like there's a very specific thing Ernest wants. Also, Maria is not opposed to just going and doing it. Some kind of plate on the floor. Amy Baldwin. She was loved too much by God. 7 years was not enough time. That is grim as fuck. Bugs. Ow. Right. Ow. Ow. Man, I'm not dying to bugs. You can go away. You can bug off. Alright, and away we go. But yeah, it's mostly the ending where I think this kind of livens up, and we're right at the end. Oh, hey, buddy. Keep out of haunted mansion. You have bugs? Just eat them. Just eat the bugs. Nah, we're on a diet. We can't enjoy such a delectable snack. Because, oh man. Time to reload. Yeah, and Silent Hill 2, the base game, it's not a hard game, but you would not have the ability to just unload like that. But yeah, keep out a haunted mansion. Huh. That's spooky. And we are in the Blue Creek apartment. Interesting. It is kind of interesting is like they kind of block that path off for James, so it's like there's no chance of them interacting. Got the map of the apartment building. Doesn't make sense because James needs to pick that up, but cannon's loose. I have the original PS2 version of this, which doesn't have this minigame. I don't think this is great, honestly. I think it's interesting, and I appreciate some of its ideas, and obviously... it's funny because it's a 6-chamber revolver that holds 10 bullets. Don't worry about it. But I appreciate it. I think it's interesting, but I don't think you're missing much by missing this, if I'm being honest. It's what it is. Oh, wait, buddy. Yeah, she's got an extended magazine on this revolver. It's fine. Okay, we got white chrism? No, we don't. Oh! Oh, that actually got me. When you're done, do you think you'll have time for a Q&A? Yeah, I'll have plenty of time. We are going to be done in like 15 minutes here. This is a very short campaign. But, wow, that actually kind of spooked me. Kind of reach in. Disgusting. Aw, you coward. Oh, hey. The Rebirth ending is exclusive to Restless Dreams, right? So that and the dog ending are the only other extras, I think. It was, and then Greatest Hits came out. I can see the apartment through the other window. Okay, so we can't go there. But the Chrism is in this side of the complex. But yeah, basically in every version of the game after Restless Dreams, it includes all of it. That includes Greatest Hits for the PS2, Director's Cut for the PC, and the much reviled Silent Hill HD collection. Oh, the HD collection. Oh, the HD collection. It's locked. I totally forgot that Maria goes to the apartments too. Very briefly, we're just kind of like an in and out, get the Chrism and go. It's mostly just a matter of where the hell is the Chrism. Alright. Well, that bug's going crazy. I have HD and Restless Dreams, lol. Yeah, I think between the two of them, it's Restless Dreams by a country mile. Restless Dreams is pretty good. HD collection playthrough when? When someone buys it for me, then we'll think about it. Yeah, well, maybe we'll do the HD collection when someone physically buys it. So I'm not spending any money on that ever again in my life. Alright, so let's go down this way then, away from him. Leo, can I read this? Something's running on the, it's too dark to read. Ah, because you don't have a flashlight. White liquid. Ah, okay, there we go. Let's examine that. Huh? What else see, Maria? Oh. Non-patch Xbox 360 version. The patch doesn't fix anything. The patch fixed nothing. That's one of the greatest lies. Yeah. Small white bottle filled with unknown white liquid. The label reads, "I deny thee." Interesting. Seeing how the PS3 network is going, the PS3 version is going to be unpatched forever too. The patch doesn't even fix it. Oh, well, it's nice and last there. The patch doesn't even fix it. It's embarrassing. You just dug your own grave. I mean, I'm not buying that. I'm never spending money on the HD collection again. I got my goddamn refund on that thing. I had the 360 version. I had it too. That's what I got at launch. I remember. And I went the wrong way. It is kind of trippy going through Maria, because you're kind of expecting, oh, I gotta go to the Pyramid Head boss room after this. Nah, gotta go over here. But, yeah. Terror. The first thing that patch should have fixed is the Comic Sans fault. Vaughn, excuse me. Honestly, we might have to do the HD collection one day. One day. I fell for it all. Downpour and the HD collection in that Hell Week. It was Downpour, the HD collection. I am not dying to bugs. It was Downpour, the HD collection, and Book of Memories. Just back to back to back. Way to kill a franchise in just a month. And it was a month. Like, Book of Memories is the last game in the Silent Hill series. Yeah, HD remake, let's just remove the fog or redub all the cutscenes while still having the original voices play. It's fucking atrocious, dude. You can hear it. They didn't even bother trying to match it half the time. On top of that, it's like everyone does a worse job. Okay, so here's the worst thing, because the voice acting in the HD collection is done by Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, whose work, generally speaking, I think is quite good. I really enjoy Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, excuse me. I really enjoy her work, and I think when she does good work of voice direction, she's extremely good at it. And as much as I hate to admit it, Troy Baker is a talented voice actor. I hate the guy personally. I think he's kind of a smarmy jerk. Well, obviously I don't hate him. I don't know him. But I think he's kind of a jackass in his public persona. But he is a talented voice actor. He's got decent range, decent work, etc. Like, it's just no one did a good job in that game. No one did. Like, I'm stuttering over myself because there's too many examples to list, but especially when he's with James. Like, his line in the Maria ending, his redub of that is everything you need to know about why Troy Baker was wrong for the role of James Sunderland. He is just not the role. Same thing goes with, as again, Mary Elizabeth McGlynn herself, who does the Mary Maria role, who is again, she's a talented voice actor. It's just, she is a far fucking cry from Monica Taylor Horgan. A lot of that, too, is, like, yeah, hearing that Mary Elizabeth McGlynn isn't involved in the acting is as bad as it is really hurt. No one who worked on that character. That's the big thing. No one who worked on that gave a shit about Silent Hill. Troy Baker didn't give a fuck about Silent Hill 2. It's just a stupid anime project along with the stupid Persona games that he hates. I want to work on real serious games like The Last of Us and Resident Evil 6. Downpour, HD Collection, Book of Memories, and Revelations all in the same year. Troy Baker talked shit about Guy Seehee in an interview, saying he was out of line for asking for more money to reprise his role. In the RE6 review, I fucking posted that quote about that stupid Guy Seehee response. Honestly, everything about the HD Collection's development brings my blood to a boil. Everything about it is the worst. Dude, fuck Troy Baker. Fuck Troy Baker. I'm taking a hard fuck Troy Baker stance. He's got talent. I agree. You can be a talented voice actor. Fuck Troy Baker. I don't care. On top of that, it's like McCready says, he's not James. Troy Baker's like surly, low voice. Yeah, meanwhile, Baker's one of the most well-paid voice actors in the industry, and I'm not against that. Baker's a talented dude, so I'm not against him getting money for his work. It's just, could you be less of a cunt? Could you be a little less of a cunt? That's all I'm asking. Remember you can punch literal Troy Baker in the first 4 days of Death Stranding? I like that, yeah. I like punching Troy Baker too. Talk shit about celebrities you're confident that you could beat in a fight. I'm pretty confident I could kick the shit out of Troy Baker if we had a one-on-one fight. I'm like 99% confident I could take him. Yeah, Mary Elizabeth McGlynn acted like an ass towards the original voice actors too. She did. She hated Donna Burke, who does Angela. She really talks shit. I don't know, in general, like, no one who worked on the HD collection liked Silent Hill. None of them liked it, none of them respected it. It's like they treated Silent Hill the way Ninja Theory treated Devil May Cry. That's the tone they took during that entire fucking production. Yeah, that's what I meant. Baker swooned as McDuckpool while calling the sea greedy. Exactly. He's like Yuri Lowenthal. He can only make one voice. I don't know if he's as bad as Yuri Lowenthal is about it. Like, I've heard things where Troy Baker's no voice, and I was like, oh, I didn't know that was Troy Baker. Like, he can do a pretty good Mark Hamill Joker impression. But I don't know. Everything about the HD collection, everyone on the HD collection is like old thing bad, new thing good. That was the entire marketing campaign. They went as far as to say that the original script was bad, and they're gonna make a new script that's good. It's like, you're kidding, right? And I'm not kidding. In one of the panels that Mary Elizabeth McGlynn did, she said Tom Hewlett was going to write a new script for it and everything. I assume he didn't do it because even Hewlett must have known. Yeah, that's a backlash that ain't going to end well. Yeah, $20 and $30. My Homeland was charging $50 for the HD collection. Yeah, if you're into okay, Sergey, if you're going to get Silent Hill 2, get it on the PC, because you can get that legally for free right now. Silent Hill 2 Director's Cut is officially abandonware on PC. Legally defined abandonware since 2018. You can get the full game, including this expansion, including every bit of added content, for the absolute bottom line asking price of $0 international. It's not even piracy. You can legally get this game.
Thank you, Maria. That's the only item I couldn't get myself. By the time I found out about it, I could no longer leave this house. So long.
Yes, but Will...
Maria, the gods are here. You know it too. You were born in this town.
Not sure God is the right word.
Do you believe in fate?
Not really.
That's fine then.
Ernest, can I open this?
This is a dead end. There's nothing beyond here.
I know. So, what if I had said I believed in fate?
That James. He's a bad man.
James. Yes. I know.
He's looking for you. That isn't you.
Because He's kind? Do you know something?
Yes. Maria, you're...
Anyway, that's just what you think. You don't really know anything. That's fine.
Okay.
James.
Mary? No, you're not.
Do I look like your girlfriend? My name is Maria.
Okay, that is Born from a Wish. In one of those shots, she looked a lot like Heather. I can see it. Maybe it's just me. I can see it because Silent Hill 3 was probably well in development at this point, and in my opinion, this, more than anything, is a test bed for Silent Hill 3 ideas. More than anything. She should have kept it and shot James. Okay, so there's a lot of chat I'm gonna have to catch up on, but we gotta talk about that ending. So, yeah, that was really short. Like I said, this is extremely short. This is 100% like an assignment Ada kind of bonus thing. Like, even Separate Ways is longer than this. But for anyone familiar with Silent Hill 1, in Silent Hill 1, the nurse Lisa that Harry interacts with throughout the game is not the real Lisa. She is, like the monsters, a figment of Alessa Gillespie's imagination. She is, in essence, like a monster product of the town. But the thing with Lisa is that Lisa was not aware of it, and once she became self-aware, essentially she just died. Her purpose was served. I think the implication here is that Maria, throughout Silent Hill 2, is her own independent thinking entity that was created by the town, which is itself kind of a horrifying idea, that the Maria you interacted with was created by the town, but had her own sapience. Which is itself fucking horrifying. The question is, though, like, how much does she truly have? Because there's a couple ways you can look at that ending, where she puts the gun to her head, throws it away, and then just utters James's name. Was her, and considering the game starts with with her revolver loaded with one round in the chamber, the question I would have is, was her free will to get the fuck out of Dodge? Just to die. At least by her own will. And because at the end of the day, she is a product of the town. She's a product of this specific nightmare for James Sunderland. If Lisa was a manifestation, how does she know the info about the town? She only knows vague details. Sleeper is just a good way to put it. Yeah, it's possible that at the very end there, when she has the gun to her head, she still has a purpose to serve. Town takes over. Gives her it's like, no. You're going to complete your end of this scenario. Yeah, there's also some clear influence town has over, especially toward the end of Silent Hill 2, especially in the labyrinth scene. More than anything, that's kind of where you get the most clear influence. But like Silent Hill 3 would do after this, is playing around with the ideas of fate and predestination. And I'll get back to the Lisa thing in a minute, but it's playing around with the ideas of fate and predestination, where she was created for this role in James's nightmare, because the town, in my opinion, is trying to feed off of his grief, his trauma, his baggage. And she is just a tool. I think there's a story about her confronting an issue rather than using suicide as a way to get out. I don't know. Well, if you're going with the thirsty town theory, maybe it's possible that's also feeding off of Maria as well. It's possible. Because, it's definitely ambiguous, because she's clearly a creation of the town, like all the other monsters. It just kind of boils down to, how much agency does Maria truly have? And did she choose a stream over? It might be over. I might just hop in Discord in a minute here just to chill out for the rest of the night. Yeah, consider the Hemingway part. Exactly. But it's the question of how much free will and agency does Maria truly have here? It's an interesting question, because she is clearly a product of the town, but she only seems to start acting in a very strange, dreamy way. The idea of the town being sentient is so crazy to me, but it does line up better than not. Exactly. So it does kind of have this very... She only, at the very end, when she puts the gun down and throws it away, has this very hazy, dreamy delivery of James. Almost like it's flipping a switch with her. Saying, you still have some work to do. Consider the Baldwin part. Okay, so Ernest Baldwin is an anomaly, and the stream's not going to be over for a bit because we have a lot to discuss, unfortunately. But this is technically also the Q&A portion. But Ernest he's an anomaly to me. I'm not quite sure what to make of the Ernest Baldwin connection. Ernest is a ghost. Let's just get that out of the way. The question is, how long has Ernest been dead for? And how exactly did he die? Because there's an unexplained aspect of More From a Wish, where as I was walking away from Ernest the first time, you heard this loud bang. And I forgot about that. So is the idea that Ernest shot himself? I know I brought it up, but it reminds me of room 1408. It's an evil fucking room. Basically. How I look at it is Baldwin himself hid from the issue from his daughter, which is fair. It's very similar to a lot of the struggles that characters in the game are going through, like the hospital note in Brookhaven in the main game, like the 3 central protagonists of James, Eddie, and Angela. Well, only one's protagonist, but you know what I mean. Well, he did try to deal with this issue in a very Pet Cemetery kind of manner. I suppose the implication is that, yeah, Ernest shot himself, but why isn't that expanded upon at all? Because Born from a Wish is, in my opinion, missed potential. That is... I think you could have expanded this to a much broader campaign and played with the ideas to a little more detail. Because there's some really interesting implications that the game does nothing with, because Silent Hill 2, the base game, does nothing with them. Because of course it doesn't. Like, it came out first. Silent Hill 3 plays around with these ideas more, but unfortunately we're not playing this on its own. So as a test bed for what would happen in 3, this is interesting in retrospect. On its own, though, it's just kind of there. It's very strange. It's kind of an anomaly as far as the franchise is concerned. But for Ernest specifically, like, I don't know if Ernest is necessarily the town. I don't know if he's necessarily the town. He very well could be. Like, he could just be an aspect of the town now. But on top of that, like we've established, ghosts exist in this universe. Spirits and things exist. So is the idea that in his grief, like let's say Ernest did kill himself, are Amy and Ernest Baldwin now essentially just aspects of the town? Have they been absorbed into it almost? Which is itself fucking horrifying. Like the idea that after you die, you get absorbed into the town itself. Like, assuming you die in a hyper-specific circumstance that it really likes to play off of. Which is itself fucking horrifying. But, let's go back to the Lisa comparison. So, in Silent Hill 1, and yes, it's a hell of a segue, but in Silent Hill 1, Lisa Garland, she only ever interacts with Harry directly one-on-one. She cannot leave the hospital, which... the nurse, the puppet nurse, and the puppet doctors also cannot leave the hospital. And as it's like, she's very vague about it. It's like, oh, I feel as if I can't leave. And as she is given more sentience, the idea that if you die, you become Alec Baldwin in Silent Hill, that's its own abstract kind of hell. But as sort of Harry encourages her to think more about who you are, what's going on in the basement, and she starts to learn a little more about Alessa and maybe get more of the memories that Alessa assumes the real Lisa would have. Lisa she breaks the fourth wall, so to speak. Like, Lisa realizes, I'm the same as them. And that's an exact quote, by the way. During her death sequence, it's, Harry, I understand now. I'm the same as all of them. And all of them in this context being the only other things she would have interacted with, the puppet nurses and the puppet doctors. Because, like them, she is a product of Alessa Gillespie's imagination. Why would Lisa direct Harry forward? The same reason Pyramid Head and Maria here act as a guide for James. It's a better way to get someone to the conclusion that the town's most interested in, which is face this horrible nightmare concoction of your biggest baggage. In Silent Hill 1's case, it was Alessa's perception of the god that her mother chose over her, in my opinion. Like, again, this is all 100% just my stuff. Completely open to being wrong. And Silent Hill 2, it is direct James to this monstrous depiction of his wife. The final boss of that game. So I think Maria could be a similar case to Lisa, to where she became self-aware. Because keep in mind, towards the end, she seemingly becomes aware of what James is. It's like, yeah, that James, he's a bad man. And she's like, yeah, I know. Almost like she's kind of remembering. Oh, yeah, he kind of killed his wife, didn't he? Made a little fucky-wucky there. Is Silent Hill literally me? I eat my feelings too. I understand, bro. I understand, same feeling. Let's see here. We'll catch up more on chat. But the thing is, like, after that sequence, Maria ignores Ernest deliberately, when Ernest is probably gonna tell her, hey, you're dead. And she's like, nope, whatever, what do you know? You're dumb. It's like, it's almost like she's trying to desperately avoid confronting the fact that, yeah, she is possibly imaginary, quote-unquote, whatever that means in this example. Like, she is a thought form entity, like a tulpa, rather than an actual person. Alternatively, hey, we all eat our feelings around here. We're all mad here, but... alternatively, as Wes points out here, this is also another idea. Does that mean that maybe Mary is Maria? Mary dies, her ghost is manifested in Silent Hill and bent to the town's whims? Itself a possibility. Because, keep in mind, there is a lot of reincarnation and rebirth imagery in Silent Hill 2, and 1 for that matter. Which lines up with 1, with the Alessa becoming Cheryl idea. Where in this, it could be Mary dies and becomes Maria. And she's born from a wish. Not James's, though. It's Maria given a second chance, so to speak. Maria didn't die in the town, she died elsewhere. She probably died at, like, James's house. Likely based on her malice resentment towards James. In general, like, I think Maria, as she is an exaggeration of Mary. Like, it's all of her actual aspects dialed to 11. So, it could be. Frankly, by that token, did the town itself send James the letter, or was it James' own bad luck due to going crazy of grief? The letter didn't exist. Not enough snow. This game sucks. Shattered Memories is better. Shattered Memories is a good game, actually. I would recommend it. Unironically. The letter doesn't exist. If you examine the letter... Also, yeah, take it easy, Sergey. Thanks for coming out. If you examine the letter after the Eddie boss fight, the letter's blank. If you examine it after you get the reveal that James killed his wife, you realize the envelope is empty. If you go into your inventory after the dual Pyramid Heads boss fight, after that, there is no envelope. There's nothing. It's completely gone from the inventory. The letter wasn't actually real, but it was real in James's mind. I think what happened is, when James got to Silent Hill, he enters the bathroom, and in my opinion, I think he's working up the will to kill himself. Like, he's gonna drive into the lake, as the in-water ending would happen. Did it manifest due to the town, or was it James going crazy separately? I think it was manifested due to the town, based on the fact that it disappears, and there's specific interactions you can have with the letter in the town for the weight allowance one person puzzle, so I think that's very deliberate. And also, it's like, I think he gets it. Because when he leaves the bathroom, per se, he's looking around. It's like, oh, was the fog not there as he showed up? It's worth thinking about. Also, like I said, this is like casual hours stream. But yeah, I've been ranting a whole lot. I know Ryan was asking for like Q&A, so this is technically the Q&A period, but let's scroll up a bit, because I missed a lot of chat, where there's a lot of Hewlett talk, and we'll talk about here in a minute. How could Tom Hewlett claim to be the ultimate Silent Hill fan when he wanted to rewrite the script and claimed a lot of the original games, like the combat in the call, was bad? Like I responded, I don't know if Tom Hewlett is that big of a Silent Hill fan. I think he likes the idea of Silent Hill. And specifically, he likes the idea of Silent Hill 2, but that's it. Like, he enjoys aspects of it. He can appreciate aspects of it. But he thinks he can do better. And that's how we get Downpour. Anyway, yeah, like, maybe Konami did set up Hewlett to fail, but he did not do himself any favors. Exactly. Like, obviously, like, Silent Hill fans can be fucking mean-spirited weirdos, so I don't envy his position, but he sure as hell did not try to not antagonize people. Also, it's like there's that weird inconsistency where he claims to have saved Homecoming, despite the fact that he... Okay, so let's talk about Hewlett. Let's talk about Hewlett. Are you streaming? Are you streaming soon? I don't think so, honestly. I don't know. Like, we'll see what we do with streams. I have some ideas and stuff I'm going to talk about on the channel later. But probably not for like at least the rest of the month, if not like all of August. We'll see. Well, one, I also want to get like the scripted Silent Hill 2 video out. Like, I actually want to get that done, because that's the real kind of piece de la resistance to this whole project. Let's see here. But Tom's streaming right now. Thinking emoji. I mean, to be fair, I'm also like just streaming sad Vegeta in the rain in a GIF. So it's like, it's not exactly the most compelling material. But Tom Hewlett. I wouldn't say Tom Hewlett is a fan. I go back and forth, honestly. Like, I don't want to be the people who accuse others of being fake fans, because like obviously like guys like that are just kind of jerks. But I don't know. Like, he doesn't do himself favors by how he kind of speaks about things and claims to be me. I am the master of Silent Hill. I am the ultimate fan. No one is more a fan than me. Fuck you guys. And it's like, you're not really doing yourself a favor there. Sounds like Ryan is waiting for something to happen. Omori in depth when? Look, all I'm gonna say is I'm unironically not opposed to that, but the thing about Omori is that it's been covered so diligently already, and if you play Omori, all I'm gonna say is you will know exactly what that game is about at the very end. There's tons of interesting shit on a second playthrough. I'm playing that with a friend right now, actually, and he's seen things for the first time with fresh eyes, and I'm seeing it a second time. And there's a lot of things the second time I am kind of impressed were there the entire time. Yeah, Omori really spells itself out. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, Omori knows exactly what it's about, and it's there to communicate that idea to you. It's not there to have, like, this very open to interpretation mystery like Silent Hill 2 is trying to be. Like, Silent Hill 2 is just trying to present things to you in a very bare bones manner and give you enough to work with. Where, yeah, Omori gives you everything you need. And I will admit, honestly, it is the kind of game that I think is a little better on a second run, because you can look at things and be like, oh, I didn't expect that. That's interesting. Specifically, the transitions to white space at the very beginning compared with the scene at the very end involving the character Basil. I might have even already said too much, but like I was not expecting that kind of overlap. And if anyone wants spoilers, I'll like text you in Discord or whatever, but Jonathan is making a parody of Mr. Hewlett's Tattoos. I really like the series, though it would be better if I could overwrite the whole thing and put my ideas there instead. Oh, and I don't really care for most of the series. In fact, I would change almost all of it. You can look at 343 when they took over Halo. I think, yeah, Hewlett's a little closer to 343. I think 343 is better than Hewlett, because Hewlett will actively gaslight and lie to people. On the flip side, Hewlett is also not as abrasive and genuinely insulting as Ninja Theory was with Devil May Cry. So, he's kind of like the in-between of those two. I don't mind spoilers, the chat probably does. But, so did we discover why Basil is the most fuckable boy? Take a seat. Just take a seat right there. Right over there. But then I saw Rick's stream reviewing that. Yeah, it's like, there's some stuff. There's obviously some stuff. And like Rick's saying, like, yeah, we're gonna do, like, basically Omori in depth whenever he's done the second route. Which, actually, I'm gonna do too. I'm getting in the mood for it, playing it with my buddy. It's like, you know what? This game's pretty good, actually. I'm gonna play the second route pretty much as soon as I get my controller. Because even though it worked today, the DualShock 4 controller, like, if I blow on it really hard, it will it's gonna disconnect. When I get something that's, like, more consistent to play with and won't ruin my experience randomly in the middle, or rebind itself, then, yeah, like, we'll do the Hickey route. But yeah, but the thing about Hewlett is, and this is like just turning into a random doomed podcast. Do you think it'll be as long as your Yick one? I will go until I am done. However, I think, okay, so I'm gonna gamble and say no, because I personally think, like, as much as I have a similar problem with my DS4 controller, it fucking sucks ass, 100%. It's so finicky, and mine has, like, always been kind of finicky, but now, after a few years, it's really starting to go. The Random Doomed podcast sounds based to me. I mean, I've been thinking of starting it. Doomed screams in his mic. It's 3 in the morning. I already had 10 cups of coffee. Let's scream into my microphone about any topic I damn well feel like. Unscripted, unfiltered. But the thing with Omori is that, like I was saying, I think it's much more straightforward and direct. So there's not much you can give for interpretation or separate. There's a few things. There's a few ways you can give different interpretations. But in general, if you play it, you'll know exactly what it's saying, what it's about, what it's doing. So it's going to be longer than the FF ones, probably, because if I'm being blunt, there's way more to talk about in it, even from a gameplay perspective. Like, I was very impressed with the battle system. But I don't think it's going to be Yick long, because the thing about Yick is, like, half of that is speculation about what went wrong and what could have been. And as much as I hate to say it, I think Yick is a more interesting game to discuss for the sole purpose of Yick is... It is the ultimate of how not to make a game. It does literally everything you could think of to do in a game, incorrect and backwards. And it's fascinating to play. Like, even watching it doesn't do it justice. Playing the unupdated original Yick from beginning to end is an experience. There really is not too much to say in the way of Final Fantasy. I have a lot to say about 7. I think 7's got some interesting ideas, but that's just me. That could also be nostalgia talking, I fully admit. Yeah, like, I could also do random Yick thoughts, because I do have, like, concerns about Yick. Random encounter, screen wipes and slices top to bottom. A podcast appeared. But yeah, so quick thing about Yick before we get to it. I was talking about this with a buddy of mine who also played Yick unupdated beginning to end with me, and actually bought me the game, so he sort of doomed himself there. It was a hell of his own creation, but I also get random Yick thoughts. I have having this random Yick thought. Play FF7 again on stream, make it a slow and casual playthrough. Honestly, depending... I might do FF7 one day on stream, because I genuinely really like that game. Yo, wonderful review by 4 Face Buttons. Unironically, yes. Okay, so random FF thoughts. Go watch the Final Fantasy VII review by 4 Face Buttons on YouTube. If I can remember, I'll put it in the link in the description. Yeah, like, I'm not even, like, joking. Unironically, check it out. Speaking as someone who would probably call that, like, one of my top 10, maybe top 20 favorite games, I agree with, like, every word he said. So it's like, yeah, check it out. It's one of the best, like, critical reviews of FF7. Like, really getting to the issues of where that game kind of falls short. Yeah, it's like, you play Yick and it infects your mind. Exactly. But, okay, so Rick, I wanted to ask you this, but I may as well ask you now. This is something I've been thinking about with the Yick update, and with 1.5 coming, is, okay, why didn't they just make a Yick 2? And I'm going to be honest, because I think this update makes Yick less interesting. Even if it technically makes it better, I don't care as much. Like, let's talk about, like, 1.25, the combat update with the new boss fight. Even if it is technically better, the battle system is much more intuitive, it's smoother. The new version of the Golden Alpaca thing is not as dumb, and it looks like they're actually going to be using it for the story direction, so it looks like it's going to be relevant, actually. The thing is, I think what this has done is homogenize the vision, because if there's one thing I can say about Yick, in its original form, it is a truly one-of-a-kind game, and you're never going to play anything else like it. Yeah, it's like, it's a shitty, boring game, not an absurdly bad one. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Yick, instead of being like a 1 out of 10, it's a 4. It's like, it's subpar. They probably didn't want to make Yick 2 because they don't want to start from scratch. Okay, fair enough. Make Yick DLC. Because I think what's happened is... The thing about the update is I think this is almost deleting the original Yick from existence, and I think that's a mistake. Like, if nothing else, Yick is notable. I remember the original Yick. I don't really remember the update because the update is now just subpar. It is a 4 out of 10 instead of a 1 out of 10. The worst part is they didn't touch on the mine dungeon. They did, actually. The mine dungeon is much more streamlined. It still sucks, but it's much more streamlined. Problem with JRPGs is you stretch that bad, boring gameplay for like 20 hours. Deleting the original Yick from existence, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the point. That was the 100% the point. I think it's a mistake. I think they shouldn't have deleted it. I think... Well, I think that game has a right to exist. Even beyond my meme template of you should have this as the gold standard of how not to design a video game, because it does everything incorrect, everything backwards, intentionally so. But because it was intentional, it's not incompetent game design, it is backwards game design. Everything was intentional. This wasn't laziness or accidents. Every terrible decision, like the mine dungeon, like the story progression, like the mandatory grinding. All of that, like, again, all of that is deliberately put in. So it was clearly their vision for something, and I think homogenizing their vision and deleting the original is a mistake. Because the original is going to be more noteworthy because of how backwards and asinine the whole thing was. It's like, imagine if they went back and they tried to remake The Room, but make it good. Like, it's kind of like that. It's like, no. Don't remake The Room. It's like, you know what it is? This is like trying to be the disaster artist to The Room. And the disaster artist will never be as notable as The Room itself. I don't care if it's technically better, it's not as interesting. Instead of going for it and making something new, they go back and try to fix this shit. Keeping unpatched is good for noteworthy reasons. It'd be like remaking The Room and trashing the original. Did we just have a fucking room mind? Was that like a live version of a hive mind? Shit, man. It's scary. But yeah, the thing is with Yick is I think the original is always going to be far more noteworthy and interesting. And what I'm seeing of the new patch, it's whatever. It's like it's now just a subpar game. It's like, okay, it's technically better. Okay, yes, you had your fucking internet historian, the Ingoodening of Yick video. Sure, cool, fuck, you did it, right? But I think it's always going to be much less interesting than what the original Yick was in its original vision. Which I maintain I do not regret playing. It is one of the most fascinating games I've ever played from start to finish. The fact that I am still talking about it, like, years later now. Yeah, you guys gotta see The Room. That game's fucking... sorry, you guys gotta see The Room. That movie's great. My moments are so much better when it's a very specific thing. Like that one time Wes streamed the original and they were like, it's so hyper-specific that we thought of The Room as our exact example. It's so weird. Is it more about Yick or Alex? It's both. Well, Alex is a larger part of Yick, but Alex is not the biggest issue of Yick. He's probably the biggest issue of the story, but even then the story is not the biggest issue of Yick. It is just merely one decision of many. But, yeah, it's like, that's why I will always think the original Yick is far more interesting to discuss. And while I'm gonna play the update, I'm nowhere near as interested. Because, like, even if it's technically better, I'm kind of bored. It's like, okay, yeah, it's more conventional. It's not this uncanny, one-of-a-kind disaster that is the original release. And I think it's a crying shame that I'm not going to be able to have that available to potentially play, if you know what I mean. But I digress. Tom Hewlett. Oh, Yick Cast Part 2 just happened, but, Tom Hewlett. The thing about Tom Hewlett is that he's gaslit the entire fan base into thinking that he actually did save Homecoming. Where the story you're told, and most people kind of go with, is Tom Hewlett saw that Homecoming was going to be like this Super Saiyan game where it's like, Judge Holloway, so it's like L Holloway, I think. Instead of E-L-L-E, like L, the name, it is the letter L. Like she's fucking the detective from Death Note. And it's like, it's L because it's short for Laura. Because L Holloway is supposed to be Laura Holloway, the name of the little girl that James saved in Silent Hill 2. Because her name was just Laura in Silent Hill 2. And it was going to be a sequel to all the Silent Hill games, where it was going to be Laura from 2, Heather from 3, and Henry from 4, and they were all going to team up with Alex, and they were going to all fight Silent Hill. And, like, Josh and the ghost of Alessa We're gonna have like a Super Saiyan battle over Toluca Lake to defeat the Silent Hill once and for all. And it's like, it's okay, so that's stupid, that's funny, it's hilarious to think about. Here's the thing. There is one source for that story. One source. It is Tom Hewlett's fucking mouth in a podcast that he did once in 2012, around the time he was promoting, Downpour. I think it was like Silent Hill Memories is what he did. So they were going to pull out Legend of Korra Season 2 finale, according to Hewlett. And Hewlett said, I came in at the last minute and I saved that project. Here's the problem. Tom Hewlett only gave one source for that, himself. And in every single interview I have ever read on a Silent Hill game, because I was thinking of doing a part 2 to the making of Silent Hill about the making of the Western Silent Hill games, which I didn't ultimately do because there isn't much to say on their development. But everything I've read, no, that's wrong. Like Silent Hill Homecoming's actual like plot outline development was done it was done around 2006. Tom Hewlett was heavily involved in Silent Hill Origins development from 2005 to 2006. If the entire original plot outline for what would eventually become Silent Hill Homecoming, at the time Silent Hill 5, was complete by Double Helix and the 2 writers who are listed as the writers of Homecoming and have done interviews in both 2006 and 2008 or 2009. I know it was after the game came out, but they did 2 interviews, and the 2 separate writers did 2 separate interviews at 2 years apart. 2 to 2, but whatever. I digress. Like 2 to 3 years apart. And the 2 separate writers both gave essentially the exact same story of how smooth the writing process was. And neither of them had discrepancy. It was, we were done pretty much first thing. So how could Hewlett come in at the last minute and completely reinvent this pitch for the Super Saiyan Silent Hill game for a project that already had its entire original pitch and outline done while he was working on Origins, as well as a project that, by his own admission before that interview, he had nothing to do with? Well, you'd be surprised. Look at Heavy Rain. The difference with Heavy Rain is Heavy Rain didn't change plot outlines. It didn't change anything. It took things out. So Heavy Rain has a plot hole simply due to lacking scenes. So remember every time in Heavy Rain where, and this is weird that we're going to this tangent and I remember this, but whenever Ethan would black out and then wake up miles away, those were supposed to be the psychic link scenes. The thing is, like in Heavy Rain, all they did was just take those scenes out. That's it. So the holes are there, and now there's a massive plot hole. It's like, wait, what was Ethan doing in those blackouts? What Hewlett's describing is a completely different scenario that would require assets, voice acting, writing, concept art, multiple developers, the writers. There's so many people that would have been involved in this Super Saiyan pitch, and not a peep. The only source of this is Tom Hewlett, who very clearly sets himself up as the hero who did everything at the last minute to save Homecoming. Very fucking convenient how he's the one who has the source. He's the only one who has this information, and he was also the one who completely saved this doomed project, so you can't blame Hewlett for the way it turned out. Very fucking convenient, is all I'm gonna say. I don't know. And look at it this way. We have the entire design document for the original pitch of Shatter Memories, Frozen Heart. We have the entire design document for that available. We have in-game, in-engine footage of Silent Hill Broken Covenant, an incomplete pitch of a Silent Hill game from Climax Games. We have PT that existed for a while, and a lot of behind-the-scenes details about the production of that. So what I'm saying is, Silent Hill has lots of behind-the-scenes information come out all the time. All the time. We have footage of the original Origins pitch from the I think it's the LA studio of Climax before it got transferred to the British studio for Climax Games. We have the original RE4 build of Silent Hill Origins to see. You could look at gameplay footage of that. So you're telling me all of that exists, but there's not a single shred of evidence supporting the Silent Hill Super Saiyan Battle Homecoming that Hewlett is pitching that he saved. Not a single bit of evidence. Nothing. Not a single bit of concept art, not an interview, not any models. Nothing except for one unsubstantiated quote from Tom Hewlett, who by his own admission barely worked on the game. You're telling, like, I don't know why people take him at his word. Like, that's my big thing with Hewlett, is I started looking into that last year, towards the end of it. It's like, oh, he's lying through his fucking teeth, isn't he? Lo and behold. Yeah, source my ass. Source. Dude, trust me. Source. Yeah, he's reminding me of Randy Pitchford. Like, don't believe his lies. Okay, anyway. I think that's a lot of ranting. Yeah, source. I made it up. Source. It came to me in a dream. Okay. There's an image from an article that says, yeah, he won the name Gearbox from Gabe Newell in the poker game. And then they updated the article saying that yeah. So it's like the story was like he and Gabe Newell had this like heart-to-heart meeting about the name Gearbox. And then Gabe Newell commented on it saying, I've never spoken to this man in my life, or something like that. Like, oh, it's Randy lies at literally every step of the way. Never trust a word he says. Don't believe his lies. Yeah, source, a crack pipe. Source, divine inspiration. But yeah, Hewlett's lying. It's a fun story and a fun concept to think about, like two Super Saiyan children in Silent Hill punching each other at Pyramid Head on the sidelines, going, no, Alessia, you can't push your power level that far. It's funny to think about, but there is literally no evidence outside of the word of a man who routinely has lied in the past. Essentially, it's like, I would like a one-on-one meeting with Hewlett. If I could ever speak with Tom Hewlett, I would ask, like, could you give us any bit of actual evidence that this is real? Anything at all. That would be my number one question. And if essentially it boils down to, dude, trust me, it's like, yeah, he's full of shit. He's lying then. But yeah, that's a lot of talking about nothing. A lot of wasting everyone's time. No, Alessa, you're gonna use up all the time you have left in Silent Hill, and we're gonna need every minute of it. You're gonna love this. Yeah. You made me use 10% of my power. The truth is, Hewlett was mistaken. He saw a script of the third Silent Hill music. Could you imagine if that was a movie? That'd be sick. That'd be sick. I'd love it. Yeah, imagine you Pyramid with King Kai's voice cracks me up. It's so fucking good. Man, Dragon Ball. Is Dragon Ball actually the greatest? The answer might surprise you. That reminds me of the ending of Indigo Prophecy with Matrix Super Saiyan fights. I'm telling you, I would love David Cage's Silent Hill. I would love it. If you're gonna ruin the series, fucking ruin it right. Give me David Cage's Silent Hill. Alright, lads. I think I've done a lot of talking about nothing today. Wasted everyone's time proper. Could you imagine if that was a movie after the second movie? Honestly, yeah. Oh, Dave, have you seen Revelations 3D? You gotta talk to me about it after, because, that's a movie. It's a movie, alright. Pyramid Head gets more size to his helmet with each power-up. Yeah, he becomes like fucking, Ramuel from Evangelion after a point. Yeah, so, we're gonna wrap it, finally. We played Born from a Wish. It was very short. Had some interesting ideas, but if we ever do Silent Hill 3, when it reaches a perfect ball, the Taro face is on it. Taro was always Pyramid Head. He was always punishing us for our sins. We needed him. We were weak. Yeah, the second one is surreal. Like, honestly, it's kind of hilarious. I kind of love it. It's not so bad it's good, full on, but it's kind of reaching it. Wrap it up and tap it up. Yeah, good night, everybody. For the lads, I'll probably hop in and chat in a few minutes here, after chilling. Just chilling for a little bit. And yeah, thanks everyone for coming out. I did not mean to just scream into a mic about Yick and Tom Hewlett for like an hour, but that's how it goes. Take it easy, everybody. Now.